First, the university's admissions service in Gloucestershire is preparing for what could be its busiest year. Thousands of A-level students across the West will get their results in less than 24 hours' time, and many are rushing to get a place before next year's fee increases. UCAS says it's seen a drop in the number of people opting for a year out. Well, Steve Nibbs is in Cheltenham for us now. Steve.
Nicola, thanks very much indeed. This is the call centre here at UCAS in Cheltenham. This will be buzzing tomorrow morning once the results are out. As you said, it's those deferrals that are down this year. Those people.
Good morning from Points West. New research has revealed that almost 300,000 people in the region will be living in fuel poverty by the end of the year. That means some homeowners are spending more than 10% of their incomes on gas and electricity bills. The Centre for Sustainable Energy, who produced the figures, say the problem is driven by rising energy bills. Now, words from the past have been echoing around Gloucester Cathedral this week as students from as far afield as Japan have gathered to learn Latin. They've been learning about the origins of the language in Rome and studying the work of classical writers, including texts translated by Gloucester monks in the Middle Ages. The number of people out of work in the West Country has gone up for the first time this year. Our business correspondent Dave Harvey has been going through the figures. So what's happening, Dave?
Quite simply, Nicola, the numbers are going in the wrong direction, and it's the first time this year, as you say, that that's been happening. These are the figures people claiming job seekers allowance actually signing on for what? The Somerset, Gloucestershire, Wiltshire and the Avon area.
So Dave, how hard is it for people actually looking for work?
Well, the strange thing is there's always expansion and contraction at the same time. People see new shops and restaurants, new businesses, new warehouses.
And what sort of jobs are being cut, Dave? What can you tell us about that?
That picture is changing slightly, Nicola. We're hearing from recruitment people that the public sector cuts are starting to come through. Jobs aren't being replaced in hospitals, in care homes, in councils, very often part-time jobs. And these are very often women's jobs, not obviously specifically for women, but it's very often women who have in the past applied and filled those roles.
Really interesting, Dave. Thank you. And will you have more for us later tonight?
We'll try to.
Great stuff. Thank you. The Somerset cottage where Samuel Taylor Coleridge wrote...
A very good evening. An investigation by BBC Points West has uncovered that more than 600 people in the region are being allowed to continue driving despite having more than 12 points on their licence.
Figures we requested from the DVLA also reveal that one driver in Swindon has escaped a ban even though he's totted up 39 points, the most in the country. Nicola Beckford has this report.
There are more than 20 different driving offences that can incur a penalty. By far the most common offence is speeding. Well, it's one thing driving around at speeds like that if you're a national champion, but do that on a public road and you risk getting points on your licence. Once you've accumulated 12, you get an automatic ban, but that's not always the case. In the West alone, there are 638 drivers who've collected 12 points or more. 34 of them have 18 or over, and 2 have more than 30, including that Swindon driver with 39.
It is shocking and it's completely unacceptable that there are people clocking up to 39 points on their licence. Again, you know, this is a risk to other road users, and it's absolutely vital that people who exceed 12 points on their licence do in fact receive a driving ban.
Across Great Britain, there are 11,000 drivers with 12 or more points on their licence. That represents a tiny fraction of the 40 million drivers on our country's roads. It doesn't change the fact, however, that registered here in Swindon is one person with 39 points on their licence. Magistrates can choose not to ban a driver if they accept that losing a licence will cause exceptional hardship. But that reason can only be used once in any 3-year period. To reach 39 points, this person would have had to have appeared before magistrates at least 3 times, and repeated use of hardship arguments, even different hardship arguments, should have been picked up.
I accept that something appears to be wrong with those and they need to be looked at. I can't even conceive how somebody can have 20, 30, 40 points and not be disqualified. I can't work it out. I'd be very interested to see how it has happened.
The DVLA has now agreed to notify the courts of any non-disqualifications that they feel should be reviewed. That could mean that magistrates may have to look again at how and why some drivers escaped a ban. Nicola Beckford, BBC Points West.
But there will be some rain at times, particularly, I think, on Sunday. There we go.
Thanks very much, Ian. Now then, that's all from us here at Points West this lunchtime, but we'll be back with a full roundup of the news at 6:30. From all of us here, goodbye.